Hello and thanks for watching an update of the current status of the VendorMax systems and products. Okay, we've done a fair bit of work lately and we've got a really nice structure to move forward. I'll show you some of those things today, and we've also, thanks to some help and some a new service or a new feature shared with us via Peter McCarthy and the Supervend team, I'll give you a demonstration of orders directly processing into Supervend, which is quite exciting. For those who wish to start to push their web order or smartphone order systems. Okay, we've now got a URL admin at admin.vendomax, which is a portal or an administration logon. I'll log in there now. You can see it's a. I'll just expand that. I'm in a Mac. You can see it's a very new interface, and it's the framework for moving forward with lots of new nice functionality, and I'm going to show a little bit of that now before I show a integrated web order. So one of the main things we need to do is to make it multi-tenant, or we've continued to develop this idea of multi-tenancy, and what that means is that we are lots and lots of different people, businesses, with our own data, but sharing a application. What we also did was change the setup after a bit of feedback to make sure that individual users, so here's a customer who might have an order, they may have multiple accounts. So now you can actually add multiple accounts. So someone who's got two shops, or maybe a couple of IGAs, etc., you can actually have a user now order for multiple accounts. Let's go back. We've also made it so that individuals who may have two businesses have got two businesses. So there's my line account number, which is what we reference as our user ID. And I'm a distributor, and I can have multiple distribution businesses. So we're full stack or full multi-tenant on our stack, which means multiple business, multiple users isn't a problem. Okay, so it's a really fundamental structure. We had some feedback from some people starting to use the web order system, where clients had 3 coffee shops, perhaps, and that happens. I've seen it. It's simple now to give them the ability to add a new account. So there we go. That customer now, that test client now, who is a standard user, which means they're a customer, has got 3 accounts that they link to, which means they can order for those 3 accounts. Okay, so that was a fundamental change to the backbone of the system, and it's working very well. We can now go to some of the nice things that we're now starting to be able to do. We've brought in a little bit more reporting. Some examples of reporting in this sort of environment. We all know the A-check, so I'm logged in as administrator, so I'm now going to change my profile to be my milk etc. That's my line account number, milk etc. milk business. So here I am. I just moved from administrator. I'm now milk etc. You can see my logo for milk etc. is up here, and I'm acting as a distributor. Okay. So what have we got? Some of the things we've already pulled in here. Everybody knows the A-check. So here's my A-check report, where we can quickly send off some SMSs to people who haven't ordered. We've upgraded this now after seeing some bigger users directly process into stored orders and not using the order entry tab, which is fine. So we've recreated that A-check process to now be able to use stored orders as well. I'm also going to add I'm going to also start doing a bit of data mining now as we start to see bigger customers use our processes. I'm going to bring in data, for example, into this shot of, did a customer order on the same day last week, or is this customer active? So as businesses start to manage more orders and more customers, but their close times don't change, the ability to data mine that will become more useful and more relevant. So, I like playing with that sort of stuff. So I'll do a bit of data mining on these views, and you'll see those just immediately pop up. Some of the other things, churn is back in. So this is showing me, and my data's a little bit stale, showing me customers who haven't ordered in the last 7 days. That's the churn report. We've actually added the start of our logistics reporting. So here is, very quickly, my volume by truck by day. It's Monday. Here is Tuesday. 1 truck on a Tuesday. Here is Saturday. 3 trucks on a Saturday. Volume by route. Very quickly. Now let's have a look at it the other way. Let's have a look at this truck. And this truck is going out on Friday and Monday. Well, this truck I know is going out most days. Or Friday, Monday, and Saturday. Okay. So we've got truck or day and volume. Over here we've got the same thing, but the number of drops. So on Tuesday, 240 is taking 2 drops, and that's actually the drop to the Lion head office on 240. Let's change it to 239. So 239's got 43 drops on a Friday, 62 drops on a Monday, and 42 drops on a Saturday. 3.7 volume on a Saturday, 3.2, 2.6, and an average up here of 3.1 for that truck. Okay. Nice bit of, these are called widgets that we've dropped in here. Nice widgets, but you can see that with this sort of framework, we've got the ability to drop lots of charts in here and access them quite easily and nicely. So, yeah, give us some feedback. Let us know what sort of data you think would be really helpful. I've also added some debtors analysis in here. I think debtors is one of the areas that when you're running bigger businesses, you really need some help on. A few people have asked for help in debtors before. I think we've got something pretty clever in here now. Remembering at the moment, we are all loading our data from Superven. So Superven continues to be the core, what I might even call the core API, the tool that is managing the core transactions, but we are sitting on top of that transaction engine and using these tools to help you manage that data in that transaction engine. And that might be a nice way to look at what's actually going on here. So here's where we pulled out all the debtors information. Some of the things that I know that's useful in debtors is quick understanding of a problem. Now, what I've created is a KPI, and the KPI represents the number of days that someone hasn't paid outside of their average payment cycle. And that's useful because a lot of companies, even though you're on 7 days, or you might tell them they're on 31 days, a big office, for example, or a big payment payer might pay 14 days post the end of the month, right? So, and that's their internal accounting cycle. So, this company pays on, look at this, these guys are amazing. This guy's a good example, actually. 55 days, or 55 median days, but they're all, they're running 25, 30, 60, so they're paying on a cycle. They're in office, I know they're in office. Their median days is 55. They've got, in Superven we've given them a payment of 30. Doesn't mean much. What actually means something is the payment reflective to what they usually do, and to identify quickly whether someone's out of turn. So I've created this KPI, and I think it's 10 days. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll check it, but it's 10 days outside of their standard cycle. So if someone's paying 7 days and they're at 17, they would be out. If someone's paying 55 but they're 65, they would be out. So it's relative to the customer's profile. Again, data, good data mining, and that's red. So let's have a look at all the reds. That's how quickly that sort of showed me the red, and it's showing me the potential problems of debtors. Very quickly, let's go. They're all my good debt. They're all in term, we might call it. And there's orange, which is between the two. So a really nice tool there. We can search anything. Really nice and fast. I know we've got a company called Coviden. And this is the detail, drills up the detail. And there's the detail. So this is bringing all that ledger data in and giving us a little bit better structure to manage it. The other thing that's hard to do and on that, for example, if people start to use this, the next step might be, for example, is to automatically, let's still get the search flag in there we go, automatically notify all of the red that they are out of term, or they're looking a bit shaky. We will obviously also, of course, sort it by total owing, so that red and total owing is where you would look first. Highest debt, out of normal behaviour or out of normal pattern, and that would be the first debt that you'd want to hit. So we'll sort that by total owing as well. Other thing we added is the ability to add a note. And there we go. I called Jeff, and we might, do things like add the date automatically today if people start using this. 25th of the 5th, and he said, as usual, in the mail. Right, Jeff. Okay, so the ability to keep at close hand the transactions. So next, or the information regarding a debtor. There we go. Oh, there you go. It's saved up there. And we've got a full transactional listing of what is going on and how these are travelling. So it's today's date, 1 o'clock. Very good. A lot of these things usually actually hit with GMT first up, but that is Australian Eastern Standard Time. Very good, guys, my developers. And yeah, there's this note, so let's close it. So we know that next week, and he's still out of sync, we have some reference material. We see a lot of businesses put that in spreadsheets, whatever. Obviously now, or notes on their desk. But this is the sort of thing that would have helped me, or does help us. Of course, we've got our special products, and special products will be the promotional product. We might change that name to promotional products. Excuse me, and that lets us start to sync into or to talk to our customers who use web ordering or smartphone ordering. Messaging or that sort of thing. So the orders page is slightly changed. Because I'm going to an orders page, I'm getting into the specifics. I need to know a customer. So I'm going to choose an account. There we go. So there's the special that's come up. If I choose yes, it'll automatically put a product into the order tab. I'm going to say no thanks. We've added better search functionality. Super fast. This stuff all runs in what's called, or what's in the UI, so it's super fast. It's more of a single page application in the user interface in the browser. Really change the way of these applications work. It's really great. There's all the DAREs, etc. We started to build. You see some nice animations. The guys have added a little bit more animations. Now that we've got the framework all good. We'll be starting to add some really nice stuff in here. We've already designed a lot of stuff. Now I'm just going to show you one more thing, which is the integration. Hey, call me. Now I'm just because I've tested at the moment. I'm just going to look for actually all our old favourites. We don't have it in there. Let's go to products. There it is. Okay, so now I've got 2 litre milk and 2 litre skim. Let's add 10 of each and send that order. Let's make it for tomorrow. Remember, if we don't, we can choose a delivery day. Nice little calendar comes up. Let's make it for tomorrow. And that's just sent it to our API. There it is. Done. Order successful. Let's have a look at what that just did. So here is the integration. Let's just move that. Let's open up my development server. Supervent on it. Okay. Let's refresh. And there is that order, 157. So let's just show you the speed of the integration now. Let's just make that a bit smaller. Let's send that order again. It's now 158. Okay, let's send that order again. Yes. Success. Let's look at this here. Let's refresh. There it is, 158. So that is the time taken for the order to be available to the landscape or the computer that Superven sits in. So now what have we got to do to get that order into Superven? Well, this is where the new tool that has been provided by the Superven team, thanks very much guys, is in. So we go click, double click, it's running, it's processing, and the order has been imported into Superven. Let's have a look. And it goes straight into stored orders. There it is, 5th of the 5th, which is tomorrow, 10 and 10. There's me doing another test there. Okay, so web orders, smartphone orders, straight into Superven in the matter of, I think that was about 12 seconds to get it to here, and maybe another 4 or 5 seconds to run this process. We'll start to heavily test this in terms of hundreds of orders coming in. This part of it won't be a problem. It's connected to a cloud server, a highly redundant, powerful cloud server. We'll test, the speed of this particular new process, running multiple orders in over the next few days, or when we get some more web orders flowing through or some high volume. Once again, this part of the process from here, once our order is presented here, this part of the process is using a new Superven tool, which was shared to us via Peter McCarthy and the Superven team. So thank you very much for that, guys. That could be very useful. Note that also it must be running on the new Superven SQL version. Okay, it will not run on the old Superven version, this new tool. Okay. Let's close out of that cloud Superven server, my development server. Final thing, where are we headed next? Well, one thing, we're going to continue to build more smarts in this, the smartphone and order entry area. They're pretty good at the moment, but there's lots of things that we can do. We can maybe force full box, so we can maybe say, well, actually, you can only put in 18, you can't put in 19. They're pretty simple things to do. We'll do a few things like that. The other thing that we're going to start looking at very soon is something that David wants to play a bit with. I don't usually let David play when he wants to. This is a lovely logistics app he showed me that gives real-time truck availability, and it's much like Uber. If you've heard of Uber and you've used the Uber or the new taxi services, which show on your app where the taxi is, this does the same. So we will basically all it needs is for your driver to have a smartphone, and if anybody out there has got a driver who would be willing to help us test this, please let us know. I know what drivers can be like. We will pay for the data, and we will drop an app or drop our app into their smartphone, and we will start to look to see how the real-time tracking helps or works. So what you could imagine is that these numbers represent a route number or a truck number, and the customer who also uses the app to order will be able to see on approach, or maybe give a notification on approach when where they are or where they're coming. So if there are delivery issues, you might be able to, know they might be able to start to connect to the driver, or they at least will have an understanding of where it is, and they may fill up supply, etc., etc., etc. So this is utilising a lot of the things that are very powerful out there and are fairly standard in, courier, well, not standard, but in the new businesses, Uber, some of the new big businesses that are power, that are doing amazing things. This is the sort of technology they're using. So David showed me this, and yeah, we're pretty excited about having a little play. So if you've got a driver out there that doesn't smash his phone and has a smartphone, and you'd like to have a go with us, let us know, please, or we will. I'll obviously get Steve onto it, one of our main drivers. Okay, thank you. End of demonstration. Hope you're all well, and cheers, and thank you for supporting the VeniMax team. Cheers. Bye bye.